Hello and welcome to the third tutorial of complete web development. This is Ramesh of Development, and today we are starting PHP. So in today's lecture we're gonna look how we can create databases, tables, and how we can connect our databases with our web pages. So without any ado, let's get started. First of all, as it was mentioned in the first video, that you need a local host or a local server for PHP to run on your PC. So for that purpose, I've installed XAMPP. You can use any of the local servers such as WAMP. So I'm gonna go to XAMPP and I'm gonna open the control panel. I'm gonna start Apache and MySQL. So both of these turn green, that means they're working fine. So we're gonna minimize, and the last time we made our folder study, so I'm gonna cut this folder and paste it in XAMPP htdocs. For WAMP it's gonna be WAMP and then the folder www instead of htdocs. That's for WAMP. For XAMPP you gotta go in htdocs and paste your project. So mine is study. Okay, let's just look at the last code we typed. So this is the code we wrote last time. Let's check it. Okay, so let's okay, so this was what we made last time. Alright, so today we are gonna make databases, and for that you gotta go to localhost. I'm sorry, localhost PHP myadmin. Alright. By the end of this tutorial or in the last videos, we will also look how to upload your website on a server and how to make a database over the server. So for that, stay tuned. Okay, so this is what a PHP dashboard or PHP myadmin looks like. This is where you make databases and tables of that. So for that, you gotta go and click this new button. Create a database's name, let's say study, create, and name table, let's say data, and number of columns. We're gonna use 4 columns. You can increase or decrease as per your requirement. So first of all, it's gonna be ID, name, email, and contact. These are the basic ones. Alright, so this is auto incrementation. If you click it, auto increment, this means that when this constraint is auto incremented, that means that with every data made into, or every data that is copied into the database, the ID will automatically auto increment itself. For example, if we put in data, name, email, and contact of a person, Ramesh, in it, the ID will be assigned to it by itself automatically. Similarly, if another value comes in, ID will be assigned to that automatically. You don't have to give ID. So this is what auto increment does. Sorry for that. And this needs to be end. Now for others, we're gonna go and select varchar. There is no need to give any length to ID, but we need to give length to these 3 values. A name can be 20 words at most, email can be 30, and contact can be like 50. Alright, So let's save it, and here we go. So this is our database, and this is our table in database. So we have made our database successfully. Now let's go and make the file which will connect our database to our website. So for that, I'm gonna make a new file, and I'm gonna save it as connection.php. Make sure that all files save. Now in this file, we're not gonna write any HTML or CSS code. All we're gonna do is make a simple clean PHP code which will be of like 5 or 6 lines. So first of all, we'll start with a PHP tag and closing of PHP tag. Alright, now in here we're gonna make 4 variables. Let's say db host. Alright, next one can be db user. Other one is let's say db pass. You can name them whatever you want to name. And last one is gonna be db, that is database. Alright, so for that, db, and this is it. So now what we are gonna do is we are gonna add values to it, that what is a database host, what is our database user, and similarly what is pass and database. So database host is localhost. As you can see, localhost is database's host. Alright, so localhost username is by default it's root. There is no pass, and database is study. Alright, study. Now we need to make another variable, and we're gonna name it as con. You can name it whatever you want to name, and in this variable we are actually giving an SQLi query which will run and which will make sure that this database is connected through these variables. So for that, we're gonna go in new MySQLi, and in these brackets we're gonna go as db host, comma, db user, comma, db pass, comma, db. We're gonna save it, and now we're gonna check if connection is successful or not. Alright, so for that purpose, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say if variable con points to this is used as pointer in CSS, and similarly in PHP this is a pointer which is pointing to something. So if our variable connection is pointing to con underscore error, oops, not con underscore error, connect underscore error. So I'm just gonna explain it to you in a minute, so don't worry about that right now. So echo connection was failed. Alright, and if it doesn't, so it will say connection was successful. Alright, let's save it and go to study/connection.php, and it says connection was successful. Alright, because let me explain to you. These are the four values. These are the four variables: database host, database user, database path, and database. In the database host, we're given the host that is localhost. User is root by default for WAMP and ZAMP. We've made no password because there is no password by default. So database path is none. So we leave this place empty. And database is study. Whatever you make database, what I made was study. Alright, now I made a new variable which is starting this SQLi query, which is connecting all these four, which is just making sure that all these four are the right ones. For example, if I change the database to HUH, and now if I refresh the page, it's going to tell me that connection was failed and unknown database HUH. Alright, so I'm going to just change it back, and you can see the error is gone and connection was successful. Okay, so now down in here we are checking connection, and for that we are saying that if our variable con, this is our variable con, if our variable con is pointing to connect underscore error. Connect underscore error is a basic built-in function of PHP. You don't have to build this function. This function means that it will check if the connection gives an error or not. So if our variable con is pointing to this error, that is connection error, we'll say connection was failed. But if it is not, which is else, we'll say connection was successful. So our connection was successful, and this file is this code is going to be written in every file which is going to be connected to databases. But this is not the way we are going to do. We are not going to write this code again and again. So for that, we are just going to do a simple task, and that is we'll go to the head and we'll say PHP, close PHP, and we'll say include connection.php, and I guess brackets are in here too. So now when we reload our main page, it says connection was successful, but this doesn't look nice. We don't want this to be in here. We don't want the front end user to see if connection was successful. I mean, I'm sorry for that noise. I mean, how I usually don't know what kind of connection was successful and what we are talking about, because this is a back-end programming. So for that, I'm just gonna go in here and I'm gonna clear this else notation, because we know that connection is successful now. So we're just gonna refresh, and that's gone. All right. So this is how you make database and how you connect databases to your pages. This is where we made the connection of databases, and we've included it in this one in our older file, giving it a tag of include and connection.php. So this is how you connect databases. In the next video tutorial, we are going to look into how to make forms and how to insert data into databases using that form, and also we'll look into changing the UI of our website a little bit, and we'll try to make it look nice. So that's all for today, and I'll look into the next video. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. God bless you all.